2 of her last 4 starts. It's hard to translate that form into the rules sphere, but bearing in mind she only got a rating of 79 initially, she might not have to do too much to figure off that mark. And 14 to 1, a bit of each way money for Firefly Lane there. Did hit 18 to 1, but now into 14s. Freeze River Tyne, Kingsmill Gin 9 to 2 with You Know Yourself. Wintour at 7s, 15 to 2 for Stanley. 8 is Merry Mistress, and Tom Bellamy's back on board. 14's Havanella and Firefly Lane, and Head and Heart. Bit of money for her as well. She's the unexposed one because only 1 start so far in handicap company. And that was an 8 for 15 here back in November, and now goes chasing this daughter of Mount Nelson. And they're all there, and that's, I think Tom Bellamy might just have been leading around to try and keep her motivated, as she might not be the most straightforward there, Merry Mistress, with the first-time visor. Looks like once again they're going to ride You Know Yourself prominently. Let's hope she gets a clear round. Sally Stanley didn't shape too badly on the chase Venetia Williams' debut last time. She's going to be forward. Could be quite a strongly run contest. Let's join Mike Cadamore as they head onto the chase track for the first time this afternoon.
So these 9 mares then on the track, just being organised before they start their 3-mile journey in this Class 5 bet at racingtv.com Mares Handicap Chase. River Tyne, the favourite in the black and pink colours. So facing up now to the starter, and away they go. No, not quite. I thought he dropped his flag, but he just, now he has. Away they go. So a nice start. Merry Mistress a little bit slow to get going though, but they race away over on the far side, moving up towards the first of 18 fences. You Know Yourself moving up swiftly on the inside, and a bad mistake and a great sit by James Best on Kingsmill Gin. That was an extraordinary recovery. Keep an eye on her. She jumps the open ditch, and she jumped that much better. Wow, that was an amazing escape for Kingsmill Gin. And James Best still in the race as they cross over the 3rd fence. She's all in last place, but well in touch alongside Firefly Lane in the pale blue jacket and Merry Mistress, the back trio or so. You Know Yourself, though, takes them out of the back straight and leads them round the far turn by a couple of lengths to Havanella in the cheek pieces and noseband, Brendan Powell. 3 lengths away, River Tyne, the favourite, just ahead of Wintour in 4th. And then Stanley racing together with Head and Heart in the blue and yellow colours. Firefly Lane, Merry Mistress, and at the back, Kingsmill Gin. So reaching the entrance to the home straight now. Quite well doled out today, the track, to save some ground. And moving up towards the 4 fences in the home straight, all plain ones here, of course, being led here by You Know Yourself, who's an established front runner. Jack Tudor on board for David Pipe here as they come down towards the next. Havanella in the cheek piece and noseband. The leader jumped that to the right there. River Tyne jumped it nice and straight alongside Wintour as they move towards the 5th now. These are the leading 4 then. Firefly Lane moving up on the inside, or the outside I should say, in the pale blue jacket. Stanley, the black with the red sleeves and black stars, just ahead there of Head and Heart. Kingsmill Gin has relegated Merry Mistress to last place. As they approach the final fence on the circuit, You Know Yourself comes up towards it now and jumped it nicely. A bit straighter that time as well. 2nd place, Havanella, just. But they're all queuing up behind as they come up towards the judge with a full circuit to go. Havanella then in 2nd. And then a line of 3. River Tyne on the inside of the course. Stanley in the middle with Wintour on the outer. Firefly Lane, the pale blue jacket, Head and Heart. Kingsmill Gin, and just behind Kingsmill Gin then is Merry Mistress, the top weight in the hands of Tom Bellamy as they race away down towards the water jump. This is number 8 here. You Know Yourself. Over it in front, just from Havanella. They all jumped it okay and move on down towards the next plain one, number 9, before they tackle the open ditch. And again, their jumping was excellent there, and they moved down towards the open ditch, the last fence on this part of the course. You Know Yourself comes up towards it, jumped it nicely. Havanella almost alongside her, however, at that point. And she, in turn, is just ahead of Wintour, who's on the outside of River Tyne, saving ground on the inside there. James Davis in the black and pink colours. Stanley is next for the Venetia Williams team, travelling quite nicely at this mid part of the race. Head and Heart, Kingsmill Gin, and Firefly Lane has been pulled up by Bryony Frost, having jumped the 10th fence, and she's out of the race. So they're moving down the far turn, going down the hill now, down the back straight, being led there by Youssef, who's unseated her rider on both chase starts so far today. Touchwood, she's jumping nicely. She leads then from Havanella on the outside. River Tyne saving ground all the way. Now look at Kingsmill Gin getting into it. Now moving up to dispute fourth place there with Wintour and River Tyne. Stanley just squeeze along briefly. Merry Mistress and Head and Heart still in no hurry at the back as they move up towards the 11th fence. Coming towards it now. Youssef in front then from Havanella. Wasn't much to choose between them though, as they head on up the hill towards the 12th now. Wintour travelling well for Rex Dingle behind in the gold and pink stripes. Kingsmill Gin, James Best has got her into just a challenging position just behind the leaders. River Tyne still there with every chance. Stanley likewise. And Head and Heart's not out of it either, neither to Merry Mistress. So of those surviving, they've all got a squeak as they cross over the open ditch. And Stanley not quite as fluent perhaps as he would have wanted there, Harry Bannister. They move on towards the last fence, down the back straight. This is 5 out, of course. And there was a slight mistake by Kingsmill Gin, just being bumped along there by James Best. So Youssef takes them up the hill. Havanella is still there, pitching in second place. River Tyne, black and pink colours on the inside of Wintour, last year's winner. Just ahead then of Kingsmill Gin. Stanley, Head and Heart, and Merry Mistress still in there with a chance, still in there pitching in the visor for Tom Bellamy as they move up the hill, and they're about now to enter the home straight here. 4 more fences left to take. The BetAtRacingTV.com Mares Handicap Chase reaching its climax here. Just of those in the chasing pack, you can see there ridden hard is Stanley on the inside being driven. She is responding though. Kingsmill Gin, having lost her position, is under pressure. Here they come down towards the 4th last though. And Youssef is in front, but only narrowly. Look on the outside, there's Havanella, Wintour, right there with every chance as she tries to defend her title. Merry Mistress and River Tyne in there as well with a squeak. Over the 3rd last they go. Youssef very gamely clinging on. Wintour is now beginning to draw alongside as they jump the 2nd last. River Tyne there as well. Merry Mistress in joint 4th when falling 2 out. They race up towards the final fence now. Wintour, River Tyne from Youssef, and then Havanella who's rallying. Here's the final fence, 3 in the air together. River Tyne with a narrow advantage from Wintour, and then on the outside Havanella who's rallying bravely. River Tyne all out from Havanella down the centre. They race up towards the line. Havanella has got there and outstayed River Tyne. A great ride from Brendan Powell. In 3rd was Wintour. They were clear then of the game. Youssef in 4th.
Havanella wins a thrilling Mares Handicap Chase here at Exeter, defeats River Tyne 2nd for the 4th time in a row, 3rd last year's winner Wintour. Cracking ride from Brendan Powell for trainer Oliver Sherwood and owners the 4 Musketeers. Perhaps the softer ground conditions saw a better effort from this saddler maker mare. She's been well beaten in her 3 chase starts so far, but had dropped from 96 to 85, and that certainly would have helped. 6 Southern in a line as they head to the first one in the home straight. Hopefully Merry Mistress is okay as she came down at 3 out in the orange and blue under Tom Bellamy, or 2 out. Here, Youssef in the yellow and black. Got a clear round under Jack Tudor this time, but just gets headed by the trio following her in. I thought that James Davis had produced River Tyne to perfection. She's by Geordie Land, and maybe she just doesn't do a great deal in front as she jumps the last upsides Wintour. But it's Brendan Powell down the outside for Havanella. The cheek piece, noseband, cheek piece combination has worked a treat. She's really put her head down and galloped. I'm not sure River Tyne has done the same there. Frustrating for River Tyne, and frustrating that she went up £3 for her most recent 2nd. And there we can see Merry Mistress is up on her feet, and Tom Bellamy, I thought, had given her a good ride to get her involved, having not shown much interest at the start. Did hamper Kingsmill Gin when that one was beaten. Here, Jessie lugging left-handed is River Tyne, and arguably she's nearly thrown away today's contest. But it's Havanella in the cheek pieces, wins at 11-1 for Oliver Sherwood and Brendan Powell.